Hey, and welcome everybody back to the channel. Welcome to the Grand Hyatt Tampa. Obviously, the backdrop isn't my normal Marriott routine, but you see, I have a plant. There, that's my plant. Does that does? That's gross. Okay, anyway, yeah, back to it. So this video is going to be a quick one. This video is going to be a fun one. It's something that I thought about because I'm always talking about points and I'm always talking about what I like to do with points, and that is spend them. But you may be surprised as to how many points I am taking into 2025. So I'm gonna let my co-star do her thing and then we'll get right into it.
Welcome back to my dad's channel. If you're new here, make sure to click that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share.
So anyone who knows me knows I am a fan of using points. I do not like to collect points. I do not like to stare at point balances. I get no psychic benefit from that because while points are sitting, they always have a chance to be devalued. This is something I've preached over and over and over again. I've said it to everyone who would listen, and then people ignore me and they keep the points anyway, and then they say that somebody else told them to spend them and then someone else gets credit. But it is what it is. What can you do? I'm a huge fan of redemptions. I don't care what you redeem for. There comes to a point where even if you do a crappy redemption, just getting rid of the points and getting a return on your money brings warm feelings to my heart. So without further ado, without further pomp and circumstance, let's get into how many points I'm taking into 2025, because the whole point of me doing this is to make sure I know how and what I can do to zero these things out, at least by the end of next year, including whatever points I may gain then. So first up, we have Hilton. I'm a Hilton Diamond member. And because of my travels with my consultancy, I would stay at Hilton's and various hotels, so they will be listed here. But I have 183,008 Hilton points. That's including all the redemptions that I've done. I just keep earning them. I have the Aspire card, I have the Hilton Honors card, but don't worry, 183,000 Hilton points, if you need an emergency room, that's great. And I've been known to use these, but it's not exactly breaking the bank for any super aspirational travel, but I definitely am going to try to use those for some legitimate local travel and or domestic travel that I may have planned in the future. And when you have Hilton, I got Bonvoy. And as a Bonvoy Titanium Elite member, I've amassed quite a bit of points because I spent the entire summer at a Marriott while I was doing work at Boston Children's Hospital. And that left me with a balance of 278,749 Marriott Bonvoy points. That's in addition to a couple of sweet night upgrades I have and a free night award. So definitely within Q1, I'm going to be looking to get rid of that. I have another big redemption planned, and frankly, that is getting kind of high for me. With my titanium status, I'm pretty sure that I can leverage an upgrade or at least get some good things for some flights that I have to take. Because what I like to do is I like to get the earliest flight possible in some cases, and I'll spend the night at a hotel the night before. So if I can burn some of these points doing that, and most hotels have a Marriott within a stone's throw. That's the best part about Marriott having the biggest footprint of all the major hotel lines. So that works for me. Now let's talk one of the more famous points ecosystems that I am part of, and that's Chase. Now, cumulatively, through all of my Chase cards, I have a total of 10,953 Chase points. That's it. At least I understood the assignment where Chase was concerned. So a hair under 11,000 points, that's easy. I'll figure something to do with that. Now, I have options. I can transfer to Hyatt, like I'm sitting in the Grand Hyatt Tampa right now. So who knows? I may need another Hyatt stay. They are also running bonuses for Chase points. I forget what the bonuses are this month, and I forget who does those videos. I wish I could tell you. I would drop their name. But even if I want to do a speculative transfer, and yes, I do speculative transfers because I actually do redemptions. Most people who don't do speculative transfers, it's because they either rarely or do not do redemptions. Now, is it advisable? Not particularly given most people's skill set, but I know for a fact I will travel and a speculative transfer does not hurt me. So a good bonus, I can actually plus those points up all the way up to 40%, or even in the case, I believe it's IHG, sometimes they do up to 70%. Doesn't matter to me because I'm going to use the points anyway. Now, for one of my preferred ecosystems, we have Amex. And with Amex, I am sitting on a total of 83,890 points. Oh, wow. Amex, Amex, Amex. I have so many options here. They have the most travel partners out of everybody. In addition to that, I have a goal of next year of trying to plan a whole trip without using any money out of pocket, just points, period. And I have a couple of ideas on how to do that. And this trove of Amex points may help me greatly with the travel partners. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do with that. I do not work an office job anymore, so the kind of points that I was getting rolling in with the gold card have kind of dried up, so I've had to be smarter using some of the multipliers. Since I closed my Hyatt card, the card that I put up for this hotel stay is of course the Amex Green card. So anything that's charged against the room and the ultimate charges will be at 3x Amex points, which is very useful. So that's just one of the ideas I can get to even the points out so I can make meaningful redemptions with them. But trust me, those points will be gone. Now here's an ecosystem where people talk about the cards but don't actually talk about the points, even though they have limited travel partners, and that's Wells Fargo. With Wells Fargo, I now have 3,070 points. Seems insignificant, but a couple of weeks ago, I had 33,000 points, but I actually used the bulk of my Wells Fargo points in order to do a redemption to head to Philadelphia. I'm going to be going there for a special trip, and I'm looking very much so forward to it. So there was no reason why not to use the points. Make the trip. $5.60 either both ways. Sounds good to me. That will always sound good to me. It will always be great. That is what points are for. Now, in my Bilt war chest, I am at 4,265 points. Reason being is that I actually transferred a bunch of points to shore up the bid for this room that I'm in right now. I do believe I sent 25,000 Bilt points in order to get this room. So it's going to be a great relaxation. Once again, I'm using my points, but I get points every month from Bilt because I pay my HOA with it and I make my 5 purchases. I do my 6X on the first of the month because I'm just that disciplined, and I'm gonna get them back, but I'm also gonna burn them because, well, as always, that's what points are for. And in addition to that, the best part about Bilt is that you can actually get Bilt points without having the card because you don't need a card to be a member of the Bilt program. I would call that a pro tip, but at this point, should just be common knowledge. Now let's head back to another hotel chain, and that's IHG. I've been staying in a couple of IHGs doing consulting even through the end of this year. My final balance with the IHG program is 73,705 IHG points. So if you're wondering what I'm gonna do with that, I got 2 words for you: Las Vegas. I am going to try to blow those points at the Venetian or the Palazzo, however much I can possibly do, even if I got to put cash with it in order to get rid of them. In addition to that, I am gold status with IHG. I was all the way up to platinum at one point, but then I didn't stay with them for a while. I got bumped down. Now I'm back up to gold. I've chosen the extra points as my membership rewards for X amount of nights that I stayed. So that is my plan for IHG. So you've heard about hotels, you've heard about credit cards, but what about airline? Now, I have been a SkyTeam Elite Rewards member. I am currently gold status with Delta. Shout out to Hilton for the status match, making me gold. And I have a balance of 52,737 Delta points. Now, with those, normally, this is what I tell people, and this is normally what I do, is I use these points to pay for upgrades, so that way I can book a cheaper ticket, and then, not have to pay cash out of pocket to move up to roomier seats. That's what I tend to use them for, or if I have a specifically ridiculous day at work or a specifically ridiculous trip, I have no problem using the points in the bar at the various Delta Sky clubs in order to get higher quality drinks that are on the complimentary menu. I have to say, this is the whole point of lounges, and this is the point of the points. Now, just in case anyone missed this, you can actually use points to pay for overweight bags and check bag fees. They accept points for everything. And remember, Delta values their own points at least 1 cent per point. And when I say at least, sometimes you get a little bit more than 1 cent per point. So while in the general market they may be known as Sky Pesos, they can be useful if you know how to deploy them properly. And finally, we come to American Airlines. Now, at the beginning of this year, I did say I was going to be leaning hard into American Airlines and ways to get points from them in order to fly the vaunted Q suites and really exercise a lot of One World Alliance benefits. I have to say I've been successful. I have a balance left of 62,201 American Airlines points. Now that is down from redemptions that I've already done with other American Airlines points. I did get the American Airlines Business, City, World Elite, MasterCard. I don't know. All their cards are a sentence. Just look, I got the business card that got me points. I got 75,000 points, I believe, on the sign-up bonus, and they waived the first year annual fee. So I'm going to keep that card for 2 years at the very least, but it's still useful. It has a gas multiplier, and I've been using that in conjunction with Simply Miles and American Airlines shopping portal, their Advantage portal, and their dining in order to push myself to American Airlines Gold. I'm within striking distance of Platinum, which would put me in the Sapphire range, but my goal ultimately is to become an Emerald. So the grand total of all these points that I am carrying into 2025 is 752,668 points total. That is a crazy amount of points for someone who preaches getting rid of them.
Oh, geez, I totally forgot the 19,992 Capital One points that I have. So go ahead and add that to the back of the total. Sorry. You don't come here for production value, but the information's good.
But at the same time, I travel more than the average bear, so I actually, in some cases, earn them faster than I can get rid of them. Whilst that is no excuse, I do have plans to get rid of them in the most effective and the most expedient ways possible, and I suggest that you do the same. So I just figured that this would be fun to let you know how many points I'm taking into 2025 and how they are going to integrate with my goal to get rid of them as fast as possible. So I have some trips on the horizon, both domestic and international, and I look forward to you guys being there with me. So now, of course, you get the gratuitous pointy thing. And here's that thing right there. See, got a little 3D action going in there. I'm not going to hold you much longer, so take it easy.